Hello everyone, my name is Jashan. With me is Steven, Keith, Naz, and Jack. Welcome to our presentation of our project Dog E, a neurotraining robotic companion for hand mobility rehabilitation following a stroke. Stroke is the leading cause of serious, long-term disability. Disabilities that can be devastating if not treated properly, and that's where the problem lies. Through our research, we noticed a large percentage of stroke survivors don't adhere to the repetitive training tasks that their doctors prescribe. This is why we set out on a goal to design a way to engage patients in their training while simultaneously streamlining rehabilitation treatment for physicians. Throughout this presentation, we will discuss the what, the who, and whys of how we designed Dog E, the neurotraining rehabilitation robotic companion.
Thousands of British Columbians must adapt to new challenges in their lives preceding a stroke every year. A stroke may present various complications to an individual's well-being, and these complications may include speech, cognitive, and motor deficits due to injuries of the brain. At times, stroke survivors may experience comorbidities and suffer from multiple health deficits. Although each deficit must be addressed accordingly, we wanted to specifically address the loss of fine motor abilities. Daily activities from brushing our teeth to buttoning a shirt are all achieved with the dexterous capabilities of our hands. These activities that we may take for granted plays a role in the maintenance of our autonomy, and without these proper functions, these daily activities may require assistance from others, ultimately causing us to lose our independence. The potential for long-term loss of basic abilities is an immediate challenge that is introduced into the lives of many stroke survivors. But luckily, there's a way to combat this, and it is with proper rehabilitation. By inducing repetitive and specified hand movements, it allows for neuroplasticity and remapping of damaged connections in the brain. As a team, we wanted to introduce an idea that replicates these rehabilitation methods, but also implements an engagement aspects to address adherence issues that survivors may have with keeping up with their prescribed treatments and portability concerns for ease of access.
Thanks, Steven. For this project, we used a business canvas as a tool to understand the business side of our proposed solution. It helped us better understand the direction we wanted to head in and determine the experts we needed to interview. When we talked to Farnaz as a user expert, we were able to understand how stroke has affected her father and her family as a result. Her dad had a stroke 5 years ago, and he is living with side effects of the stroke. They had spent thousands of dollars in hopes of a solution to retain his physical capabilities with little to no success. She mentioned that if they could get more help for her father's hand rehab, he could have been able to hold a cane with his hand, so he could walk with a walker. After years of physio, the hand still has no movement, and she would pay any amount to get that hand moving. Also, rehab solutions must come into their home because he cannot go outside. This motivated us to think about a solution for people that are dealing with these health problems and empathize with them. My teammate, Keith, will continue the rest.
During our process, we also spoke to Brent Page, the Executive Director at the Stroke Recovery Association of BC. We conversed about the more specific problems local to BC and discussed the role that technology could play in the greater issue of healthcare. Here are some key takeaways and anecdotes. The number of strokes increases with an aging population due to the trend of strokes versus old age. If the limitations of government funding are not resolved, low-cost solutions are vital in providing care for those in need. Apps are a great tool that most people have access to because almost everyone has a phone nowadays, and apps generally have lower development costs than physical products. That being said, most low-cost app solutions don't undergo the extensive funding that would allow for clinical trials, which is a distinctive trade-off. Brent shared that he was working with a virtual yoga app that encouraged seniors and stroke survivors to build a community around exercise and rehabilitation, and we thought that was really cool. Brent also explained the limitations of the healthcare system's range, which only services a small circle around the Lower Mainland. Those who live a bit further away are left to fend for themselves. This is why there is an increasing need for portable solutions for rehabilitation. Apps are definitely a nice start, but as I mentioned, they have limitations. Portable technologies go further in providing physical solutions that have more features that aid in recovery. A simple example of this is Muse, a clinical-grade EEG brain-computer interface that is primarily for meditation. While not directly related to rehabilitation, you could have a tool that scans your own brain for just $300. That's pretty cool. Solutions like these open up possibilities for people in remote areas or simply don't have access to facilities for whatever their reasons may be. Fun fact, our professor, Dr. Savan Moreno, worked on Muse. CIET has lots of cool people and I thought that should be acknowledged. So now I'll hand it off to my teammate Jack to speak a little bit more about our design.
Thanks, Keith. Each feedback from field professionals has provided our team with a different lens to look at our problem. As our project is related to healthcare technologies, we are very grateful to have our interviews with experts prior to the design process to fill in some of our knowledge gap and clear up some of our misconceptions. Research has shown that 35% of elderly stroke patients do not keep up with the regular exercises necessary for recovery. Our design, Doggy, is a portable neurotraining companion designed to potentially alleviate elderly stroke patients' psychological distress during the critical periods of their recovery and to provide an engaging at-home rehabilitation solution. So, we decided in the early iteration that our design has to be portable for better accessibility. Speaking from my own experiences, it is always the slightest inconvenience that makes me procrastinate from mundane tasks, but often it is the repetition that helps us improve. For stroke survivors, frequent deliberate hand exercises are essential in facilitating neuroplasticity, which is the unique process that allows the brain of the patient to recover for the lost fine motor functions. We chose to have our design as a dog because our research has also shown that engaging with companion robots improves the quality of treatment and emotional state of elderly patients by reducing depression and anxiety. We want our robot to be an interactive pet that can also be a companion, and design that intentional repetition training around the patients and the pet's interaction. This is the reason why our design focuses on adherence, intentional repetition training, and companionship, in hopes to improve the chance of elderly patients to stick to their recovery plan and have a better experience in their rehabilitation process.
By encouraging interaction through engaging and flexible solutions, Dog-E was designed in the hopes that we see more innovative technology used to empower patients to provide them with the autonomy and confidence that is so often lost during the rehabilitation process. Thank you all for listening to our project. We look forward to having a dialogue and answering any questions you may have.